What's going on, everyone? It's Patrick from Purple Park Studios. Alright, so as you saw in the video there, I'm using green screen footage that I filmed in front of a green screen, and then I brought that into Blender using the Images as Plane as add-on. It's a free add-on. If you don't know how to activate it, you can go up to Edit and Preferences, and then you're going to go to Add-ons, and you're just going to type Images, and right here, just make sure this little box is checked, and that will allow you to basically bring images or video, whether that's green screen footage that you've keyed out and brought it, you can bring it into Blender. So it's basically going to allow you to bring your video footage into Blender, and it's a really powerful tool. It comes with Blender. So in this video, I want to kind of get into just a little bit briefly the actual green screen footage here, but real quick before we get into that, let's just take a look at the environment. So it's actually a pretty basic environment. The HDRI is a gradient that I made in Photoshop, and it's pretty dim in this scene, but that's because I've got these trees here are emitting some light, and I've got a couple smaller lights placed around the scene. In the back I have some weird structure that I made using geonodes. I just flipped it upside down, and it looks cool with the way the cameras are angled in the shots. And then aside from that, just a basic plane with a texture on it. We've got a particle system down here for these little flowers or whatever this crap is, and then here we've got a couple cubes that I just sunk into the plane. So nothing too crazy about the environment. Of course, we've got Suzanne here with a pretty wild texture. If we actually go up close to this texture, you can see it's pretty sweet and detailed. And then the Saturn eyes here, and if you're wondering about the Saturn eyes, so this is actually for a music video that I did, and I will link the video in the description. So go ahead and check out that video if you want to see all the other stuff that I ended up doing. It was a little too complicated of a video to do a full tutorial on. So if I go ahead and hit play here, you'll see I do have a few different shots here. We've got the intro shot where it's coming in, so it kind of showcases the environment. You really get a sense of what's happening. And then we have this close-up scene here, which I think turned out pretty sweet with the depth of field. I love the way that looks there. And then lastly, just ended on this shot again with the environment, and then Ronnie's coming down here. So if I go ahead and click on the Images as Planes here and go to my Shading tab, we're going to see that I've done a few things with nodes, nothing crazy. So if you look over here, let me just move this up so we can see a little better. This is the Images as Planes here, so you can switch that out at any time by going to here, and you can navigate into your computer and just choose a different scene, although it is always best to just bring them in as separately here. So example, I have this right here, and then up here I've got other Images as Planes in this folder here. So in order to integrate this into the shot a little bit better, I knew I wanted to kind of go solid color-ish in a way on this, so I just plugged a hue saturation node in right here between the color, and the saturation is just toned down ever so slightly. That is plugged into a color ramp to get this this hue here, this pinkish purple hue, and then it's going into the emission. And if you'll notice here, let me just bring this down so we can see a little better. With the emission on 1, it's just a little too dark, and then but just by bumping that emission up to 2, it really makes it look like it's all part of the same shot and scene here now. So things are relatively leveled out as far as color. And as always, just a quick tip if you want to get like shadows and reflections and stuff, it's going to be hard to see them in this video because he is up in the air and he's not near the ground. However, if I select the Images as Planes and then we go down here to the material properties, make sure you scroll all the way down, and just a couple tips here. I usually turn the roughness all the way up so I don't get any weird like shadows or reflections, things like that. And you can also try messing with the specular. You can turn that up or down. Sometimes that can help your clip look a little bit better in the scene. So if we scroll all the way down here, you're just going to want to make sure that the blend mode and the shadow mode are set to alpha hash and alpha hash. That's if you're using Eevee. In cycles, you're not going to have this option because you should be getting natural shadows and reflections already. But in Eevee, you do have to turn that on, otherwise it'll look a bit flat. I've got some other videos explaining this in much more detail, and I'll link those in the description as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video entertaining and helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment and a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.